to Mohawk Manufacturing in Mt.Gilead, North Carolina. Here in our 500,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility, we produce high-density fiberboard panels that support innumerable products around the world. From standard multi-purpose high-density fiberboards to customizable wood panels, Mohawk Mt.Gilead fills the needs of our vast and diverse partners. Many of our products are key components found in the automotive industry, home construction, and even our own unbeatable flooring lines. Let's see how it's done, from chip to ship. Everything begins here in the woodyard, where 300 truckloads of southern yellow pine chips are delivered each week. Over 10,000 tons of chips get processed during that time, and all of it comes from local suppliers. As the trucks are unloaded, the chips are carried and stacked into staging areas. Our chip hoppers then begin delivering chips to our refiner from the staging area. Chips fall over a magnetic drum to remove ferrous metal, then pass through a metal detector to detect and remove any other ferrous and non-ferrous metal. Chips then flow into a screener where they are shaken to separate and remove any oversized chips. Our target size chip is about 1 inch in size, which guarantees a good fiber length. The oversized chips are later used as fuel for our furnace, increasing the efficiency of our raw materials. The grade A chips are then conveyed into the manufacturing facility by way of a pneumatic conveyor. Once inside the refining system, steam is added to the chips in order to soften them for further processing. The chips enter the refiner through a specially designed screw conveyor. It's here in the refiner that chips now become usable fibrous material. Pressurized steam then transports the fibers out through a 5-inch line called a blow line. Resin is applied to the fibers while in the blow line. From the blow line, the resin-coated fibers enter the flash dryer, where they are dried to a designated moisture. Fibers are transported by conveyor to the forming station. Fibers are gravity-fed into the air density separator. The air density separator removes improper fiber sizes as well as clumps from the process. The properly sized fiber is then pneumatically passed to the fiber bin. From the bin, fiber is raked back and then conveyed into the dissolving rollers. It is the job of these rollers to ensure that no clumps of fiber remain. In the forming head, fibers are pulled from the fiber bin and formed into a mat as it's laid down on the forming belt. The pre-press will now remove any excess air from the fiber mat using a permeable belt as the mat is being pressed to 1/3 its original uncompressed size. Mat trim saws will trim up the edges of the mat, and the excess material is conveyed back to the fiber bin to be used again. The forming belt now conveys the trimmed mat under the defensor. The defensor is a powerful X-ray that continually scans the mat looking for any foreign material such as clumps or missed metal fragments. Upon determining substandard portions inside the mat, the reject nose retracts to remove the portion of the mat. Once removed, those portions of material will either be reintroduced into the forming process or applied to the furnace as fuel. The reject nose will also open if the correct moisture or weight is not met to specification. The Diffenbacher continuous press utilizes 2 stainless steel belts as both conveyor and pressing medium. This 33.5 meter long press has 25 frames that can apply up to 4,500 psi of pressure while producing as much as 295 linear feet of board per minute. Now the outfeed handles the post-press side of the process. First, 2 flying saws cut the pressed panels to the desired length. The reject tipple conveyor allows for both head cuts and butt cuts to be pulled out of the process. It will also open if boards are delaminated or customer-specified tolerances are not met. Sample boards are then tested by quality control from the collected boards. The star coolers receive and rotate thicker boards to allow them adequate cooling time before stacking. Once cooled, boards are now cut in the trim saw house to the desired width. 2 independent board stackers facilitate the stacking of offloaded boards to ensure a constant process. Now, the forklifts will transport the stacked material to either the warehouse for storage or into other work centers to continue being processed according to the product specifications. Sanding is the next step for those products continuing on in processing. Our Swiss-engineered Satos sander is unlike most sanders. Using mineral cast technology, the benefits over conventional steel frame designs include vibration absorption, temperature stability, and reduced noise transmission. Our 55,000-pound capacity load lifters load master pallets of material onto the infeed rollers of the sander. Pallets are then auto-fed into the hoist table. Now the pallets are set into position to feed boards one at a time. Boards are loaded onto the alignment roll case where they are positioned to enter the calibration sander on center. The speed of the boards is determined by the operator's loaded settings. Boards enter the calibration sander and are kept in place by a set of 5 rubber-coated feed rollers as they pass through 4 solid contact sanding drums, removing approximately 0.25 millimeter of stock. Each board is now calibrated to the ideal thickness for finishing the sanding process. Next, the boards enter the finishing sander where they are kept in place by another series of rubber-coated feed rollers that pass the boards through 4 more electronically controlled platen heads that apply pressure to remove the final 0.15 millimeter of stock. Now the boards are finished and ready for the next stage. Finished boards are transported from the finishing sander to the grade line where the individual boards can be inspected for any defects during the sanding process. From this point, the master panels go one of 2 ways. Master boards can be stacked on pallets in the grade bin of the quality control station where the line inspector verifies the quality of the board and logs the data into the database, then sends the material to the warehouse for later use, or the boards are guided into the bookmaker where books are formed for cutting. Once the book is formed, transfer chains move it to the book saw. Upon loading the master book, the infeed carriage progresses it to the next stage. After clamping the books into the proper position, the saw makes a pass, cutting the leading trim. The saw then makes sequential cuts, one at a time. Pullouts advance the cut book to the destacking table. Stacked books then get discharged out for inspection by the quality control line inspector. Here, inspectors verify precise dimensions, surface quality, cut quality, as well as ensure the edges have no damage. Offloaded pallets are banded and wrapped. Now, products that only required these treatments in the processing are ready for shipment. Another possible route that the newly made master panels could take is through the angular saw. The Holzma angular saw is easily able to take any size master panel and cut it to fit a customer's specifications. Lift operators check dimensional and aesthetic properties of the board before staging them on the infeed rollers. The hoist tables lift the board into position using a combination of vacuum cups, nip rollers, and feed shoes, building what is referred to as a book. The ripsaw program fence holds the book in place as it's transferred to the cut line. The saw carriage cuts the books with 3 separate cutting heads. This process is repeated until all programmed cuts have been made for each individual book of material. The ripsaw pullouts transfer in behind the material and move it far enough that the cross transports can take over. It brings the book to the cross-cut saw line to repeat the same cutting process as the ripsaw cycle. Now the finished cut books are ready for the destacking area. After all material is built up to correct piece counts, it's strapped, wrapped, and ready for shipment. In our lacquering area, both raw and sanded panels are coated with color paint specified by the customer. All colors are custom matched per decor and can range throughout the entire color spectrum. The hoist table raises up the pallet to the loading level. One by one, boards are bottom fed through the barrier gap, which is set to the thickness of one board. Master panels are ripped to production width and sent down the line, while the other half of the cut master panel are collected, stacked, and passed back through the infeed process. Once through the infeed area, the boards enter a brush machine that cleans them of large debris and dust. Boards then pass through the preheating oven and into the first primer stage. Here, the first machine applies the primer needed to bind the paint to the board. Upon application of paint, the board is sent through a drying oven, which operates at 275 degrees Fahrenheit. As the board passes through the deniver, its surface gets scratched by 2 coarse brushes. This process will assist in the adhesion of the next paint application. The second primer provides more hiding qualities than the first and serves to cover the entire board for uniformity. After a second drying tunnel, the board enters the base machines. These apply paint back to back, resulting in a wet-on-wet application with no drying between them. This is where the base coat is applied and the background color is set. The third drying tunnel receives the double painted boards and heats them with temperatures of 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Boards are now ready for the print area. Here the two print machines will apply decor to the individual boards. The print cylinder in each machine is chrome plated and engraved with a specific pattern for that decor. A doctor blade is used on the print cylinder and application roller to control the amount of ink applied to the roller. Only a small amount of ink is needed to fill the voids in the roller, which allow it to be metered onto the cylinder. During the UV application, a chilled dosing roller controls the correct transfer of top coat on each board. The UV top coat provides scratch resistance and protection from other layers of paint. The liquid top coat contains about 99% solids, but needs a curing agent for activation. Now the boards will enter the longer UV tunnel where 8 lamps with parabolic reflectors are directed at the board surface to provide the correct light intensity and completely cure the top coat. During outfeed, inspectors examine 100% of the boards that exit in a well-lit area. The operator chooses which boards are destined for the A-grade stack and which ones, if any, are rejected. Boards can be rejected for any number of reasons that fail to meet the standards we hold for our products. A-grade boards are stacked with vacuum belts onto pallets, positioned with a squaring cycle, and prepped ready for pickup. Mohawk is relentless in efforts to ensure consistency as well as quality. This dedication is clearly visible as you enter the quality control lab. The frequency of testing done on products from the press production line are performed throughout the day. This way, any larger issues within the initial stages of production can be determined and handled with minimal effects to overall production. Testing within our QC lab involves density X-raying with a QMS machine designed to determine the distribution of density from the top surface of the panel to the bottom. We test the internal bond of the boards to ensure sufficient cure and resin content. The Graycon microwave moisture meter measures the moisture content, while the ovens and swell tanks can analyze thickness, swell, and moisture content. These checks and scrutinies exceed most standards from other manufacturers and continue to demonstrate why Mohawk has few contemporaries who are equal. Our maintenance department employs quality skilled team members, from mechanics who service the tools we use, electricians that oversee the energy and service needs of the machines we operate, to automation technicians. Our team members are equipped and skilled to handle any issue that might arise. In-house maintenance allows us to service our equipment with the utilization of drills, lathes, mills, and other fabrication tools. Coupled with the addition of a 6,000+ part storeroom, ready with any critically needed part, there's no job too big nor too small that this department can't handle. Once the product has finished all the necessary steps to have it ready for the customer, it's palleted, packed, and brought out to the shipping area by the shipping runner. Complete truckloads of material are staged together. Once quantities are physically verified and confirmed in SAP, orders are available to ship. Bills of lading are generated by the shipping clerks for those products ready to be shipped. Truck drivers are given the bills at the shipping office window, then assigned a truck loader who will manage the loading of their trucks according to the load copy. When trucks are fully loaded and tarped for transit, they are ready to leave our facility and on to the awaiting customer. The Mohawk Mt.Gilead facility is a family of dedicated people that have a passion for customer service with an entrepreneurial spirit. We are the premier board manufacturer in North America. With a motto of home without harm every day, we continually pursue a safe work environment for our team members while leading the world with the highest quality wood products. We'd like to thank you for journeying with us through our home.
Hello, my name is Alex Alsbrook. Hi, my name is B. Moore.
Hi, my name is Eleanor Drake.
Hi, my name is Robin Gaines.
Hi, my name is James Russell.
Hi, my name is Justin Humphrey.
Hi, my name is Barbara Little, and I've been with Mohawk for 14 years.
I have been with Mohawk for 8 years.
I've been with Mohawk for 16 years.
I've been with Mohawk for 11 and a half years.
I've been here for 5 years.
Been with Mohawk for 11 years.
And I've been with the company over 15 years.
I started on the outfield and it's where all the boards and staff.
First role at Mohawk was assistant operator at the angler stop.
I came in on the cleanup crew.
I came in as a single beam operator for a cut size.
When I started working at Mohawk, I was just a mechanic.
I started out in the department called cut size.
When I started with Mohawk, I was with quality control and still in quality control.
I am now a energy plant operator.
I'm now an operator on the lap line.
I'm the woodyard lead man.
I'm now a team lead, currently at that.
Now I'm up to Monday through Friday lead man.
I am currently in the fourth coordinator position.
Through the years since I have worked with Mohawk, it has been a pretty good place. It provides you chance for opportunities and to advance.
I would say this is a great place to work, good company to work for, great opportunity to advance yourself.
The experience has been great because I've learned a lot since I've been in this position.
And it's an enjoyable job, working and learning more and more about quality control and the laminate board itself.
I've learned more since I've worked here than I have anywhere else.
I love the environment here. It's enjoyable.
I probably wouldn't take nothing for it.
I've had so many experiences and learned so much.
Training programs and stuff that they do is excellent.
That you get a chance to work with the employees, you get a chance to meet vendors, and you just learn. I just like it because it keeps you busy.
It's a hard working place, for one. And you get to meet good people up here while you're working.
And I just love my job.